And as per usual, we're going to start by lying down. But actually, what I do want you to do, not lying down with the... Sorry, I'm just getting everyone on mute. There we are. If we can lie down with the knees bent up. Now, it doesn't matter where the knees are bent up, whether they're wide or they're close in or far away, just wherever is comfortable for you. And either the hands just resting by the sides or just on the tummy. As always, just tuning into our breath here. Just observing the rise of the chest and the tummy on the inhale. And as both contract on the exhale. And just hearing the sounds of the breath as well. And as we tune in, letting everything else float away, focusing only on the breath. Just enjoying the stillness and peace here. It might be the first time today that we've just switched off. And as we settle here, with these knees bent, just observing as that gently pushes the lower back into the mat. Just hopefully easing it off a bit. If you ever need to adjust, just let that happen. As we settle here, that breath just lengthens over time. Just everything calming and stilling. And the thoughts in the mind just drifting away. And then we'll just take 3 nice long deep breaths. So as we inhale, filling the chest and the tummy, holding just for a second. And through parted lips, just sigh it away. Twice more. When we've had those 3, just letting the breath return to normal. Effortless, not forced in any way. And then we'll move it into the neck. Rocking the head side to side, just nice and loose. Just awakening the neck muscles. And then we've worked both sides evenly. As we bring that head back, just checking that the chin is still slightly tucked in. Then we can just move to pelvic tilting. So it doesn't matter where the arms are yet. On the inhale, just gently pushing through the feet, just so those hips rise just a tad. As we exhale, as they lower down, breath by breath. So as we inhale up, a small curve of the lower spine flattens in the mat. As we exhale down, as that curve returns. It's working the micro muscles in the lower back and in the hips and buttocks. And when you've worked evenly, just lowering those hips back down. And we can just take a hold of the knees, just hugging them in. Now, whether you want to be still or just take a rock from side to side is up to you. If you're rocking, the knees go one way and then the head going the other. And when we've worked evenly, those knees back to center, we'll just plant these feet on the floor in preparation for bridge. So bringing the heels quite close into the hips. Those palms face down but on the mat. Again, that chin tucked in. And on your inhale, can we push through the feet, lifting the hips up to the ceiling. Now slow and controlled movements. Exhale, peeling down. So the movement fills your breath. As we do this twice more. Now, when you've had those 3, we can lift up again and hold for 3. If you don't want to hold for 3, don't. But if you are, every inhale, that push through the legs, those hips come up a little bit more. Making space in the vertebrae and the curve in the spine. When you've had those 3, exhale, rolling down slowly. Last things down is the hips. As we counter stretch, taking a hold of each knee individually, out and up to the sides of the chest. Here with the shoulders dropping. And if you enjoyed the core class last week, we can inhale, lifting the head up, just looking along the body. This is entirely optional. And then the next breath or two, exhaling the head back down. Now as we gather these knees together, so we're sending the knees above the hips at a 90-degree angle. So you bring these arms out to shoulder height. Now just work the core a bit. Ready for a twist. So exhale. Those knees fall onto the floor on any side. You can take a look over the opposite shoulder if you wish. And as we hold here, filling this open lung on the inhale. As we exhale, maybe releasing into the twist that little more. Can we move to the other side? So as we inhale to center, exhaling across, nice and slow. Opening into the twist on this side. Perhaps looking over this opposite shoulder. The lung on this side now more prominent. Releasing into that twist on the exhale. And in your time, inhale back to center. And we can hug around the thighs if we like, either ready to roll ourselves up to sit or coming any other way that you wish. If you're rocking up, just taking your time, massaging the spine. Eventually up to your seated position, finding the spine long and light. Again, that chin tucked in. Nice and long. As we exhale, just rooting down through the sit bones. As we work all the way around the neck. Every inhale, finding the length. As we exhale and stretch. As we begin by looking up. Inhale to center. As we exhale down. And back on the inhale. And as the ears come to the shoulders, to your exhale. And when you've done this round, we'll just do one more. Exhale and stretch. Every inhale back. And then when you come back, whatever you want, whether that's rolling the neck around, whatever you choose it to be. And if you've gone one way, it's going the other as well. And as we come back, everything nice and long. Let's give the shoulders a little loose shake, whatever they need it to be. And then let's work into these sides. So with one arm, inhaling it up, that reaches up. As we exhale over into a side stretch, whether that elbow is bent or touching the floor. Now as we hold, maybe inhale and reach, maybe exhale and lower. Other side. Ooh, we lift both arms using the core. Exhaling over. Reaching on that inhale. Maybe exhale, giving in. As we inhale, back up, both palms together, coming into a twist. So it doesn't matter where the hands land. Just exhale, twisting around, spine lengthened. Now we're not holding. So next inhale, back up. Exhale over. And just once more to each side. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale and twist, maybe that little further this time. And as we inhale back to center, palms down to heart center and your breath. With those shoulders dropping. Lower the hands. Now, let's go this way first. Going to roll it through to all fours. Coming any other way if you like. Now, whether you're on the palms or it's fists, knees under hips, and we're going to work in a sequence. So it's going to be our usual cat, and then dog, and we're going to come back down into child. But I'll talk us through it. So, usual inhale as we curl looking up. On the exhale, curling down, looking down or through the legs. Now next inhale, can we tuck the toes? Lifting the hips up into dog. Now on the exhale, sinking the chest and head through. Holding on the inhale. And then exhale, down to all fours. As you untuck the toes, sinking the hips back into child. Now just take a breath or two in child. And we'll repeat this a few times. So inhale, all fours. Can we come into the cat on the inhale as well? Exhale, curling down. As we inhale, tucking toes, lifting up into dog. Actually, let's not hold our dog this time. So exhale, down to all fours, and sinking back into child. Now, if you want to stay in child, you can. Or keep working, breath by breath. So inhaling all fours, curling up. Exhale. Curl down. Inhale, toes tucked, hips up in dog. As we exhale. Back to child. Now remember, this is always your chance for a rest. But if you're still going, as we inhale, curling up. And then down in cat. With the toes tucked, inhaling into dog. We exhale. Back into child. Now, stay in your child this time. It's taking a few moments of stillness. So, next inhale. We're just going to come back up into all fours. Now we're going to repeat this sequence, but with an extra step into Cobra. So if Cobra's not for you, you can adapt it, or you can skip the step out. So from our all fours, inhale, up in cat, down cat, toes tucked, inhaling into dog. Now on the exhale this time, we're coming almost down to all fours. We can walk the hands forward. So we come on to our front. With the palms by the chest. We can inhale up into Cobra. Whether that's high or low. Exhale, tensing the buttocks, peeling down. Tucking the toes under here. So we can inhale, almost back to all fours. But can we just swing it all back up into dog? Not holding. Exhale, all fours. Child. For a brief rest. So can we repeat this? Let's say another 3 times. So, hands planted, inhaling all fours. So we come into cat. Exhale, down cat. Toes tucked, up into dog. Exhale, You can lower down onto the knees. Walking the palms forward as we lower the chest onto the mat. Inhale, up in cobra. Exhale, peeling down, tensing the buttocks. Now as we inhale, toes tucked. Coming up into dog via all fours. Hips up. Exhale. All back to child. Take a brief pause if you wish. Now, one more round if you want before we go. When we come from dog onto our front, you can come into all fours or you can make it a plank-like movement. I'll talk us through it. Inhale, all fours. Up into cat. Exhale as we curl down. Toes tucked. Inhaling in dog. Now exhale. You can come all fours or you can shift the weight forward into plank. And maybe lower the chest or the knees. When you're down. Inhaling up in cobra. Exhale. Peeling down. Now again, you can lift up without all fours. So you can tuck the toes. Inhale almost back to plank. Swinging the hips through to dog. And then exhale. All fours. And child. And enjoy the stillness here. You should have feeling some nice warmth now. Tuning into our breath. Observing where we've worked. Allowing the breath to ease the lower back as well. And then, in your time, let's just lift it into dog. So inhaling all fours. Toes tucked. Hips up to the sky. Now you can adjust your dog. We can hold it for a few breaths. If you want to take a walk from foot to foot, just let that happen. Or enjoy the stillness. And then the next breath or two, we just step it through to a forward fold, the feet towards the hand, and the hands to the feet. Letting everything hang. Just nice and loose. Whether the hands are hanging or you're holding the elbows. And then slowly, slowly, inhale, peeling yourself up to your standing position with the soles of the feet planted, not the palms. Finding that nice lengthened position. Tuning into the breath. There we go. Shoulders dropping, chin tucked in. Just letting everything still. As we always do. Just inhale, reaching up. The movement's as slow as the breath. Exhaling back to heart center. Twice more. Centering everything. And with those hands at part center, we'll just ease these wrists off so we can interlock the fingers. Bringing the fingers just roughly up in line with the eyes. Now with one hand only doing the work, let's give it a gentle twist around. Whether it's slow or fast is your choice. It's being sure to go both ways. And then as we slow that down, as we move to the other hand, interlocking the other way, so moving the fingers along one, and then the other hand doing the work. Again, fast or slow. It's going both ways. And as we slow that down, we're just going to flick the hands all the way down. So we can just start. It's flicking from the top. So we just work our way down. And then we get down. Let's give it a gentle shugle. We know what this bit is. Everything loose. Now I tried doing this in my in-person classes. It wasn't the same effect. And then we can just slow that down. Back to our stand. That feels much better. It's a nice little wiggle. Anyway, sorry. Rooted down. Back to a bit of torture. So another sequence. It doesn't really matter where we are in the mat. We're going chair, warrior, and a few other bits. So, those feet really nicely planted. Big inhale, scooping the arms up. That's it. Exhale, can we lower down, sitting on that stool? Now, with the hips, so they're not poking out, they're tucked in. That's it, you can play with the hips if you want. And you'll probably find that just makes it much harder. Oh, we're all holding the hips. Oh, you can keep the arms up, either or. To be fair, that's probably quite a good distraction for what's going on in these hips. But, can we exhale? Oh, yes. I think that is enough though. So lower the hands. And on a big inhale, fly up. Lowering them down. Feels nice. Time for warrior, just for a bit more. Stepping one foot in front, maybe the other back. So warrior two, hips to the side or just slightly off. Front foot forward, back toes in. The hands on the hips again. Can we exhale? Bending the front leg. So there's a nice straight line between that knee and ankle. So we inhale, filling the chest. Lifting the arms if we're ready and balanced. Maybe looking over those front fingers. Tuning into the breath. So we inhale as the lungs fill and expand, almost making the arms longer. Again, maybe exhale and lower a bit. Optional. And finding the stillness within. That slow and controlled breath. And then, so we're going to go backwards tonight. So inhale, scooping up. Whether the back arm holds a leg or hangs is up to you. Just reaching the front one up. And on the next exhale, we can just swing it all forward. So it's almost like a triangle. Now, whether the arm hangs, touches the floor or holds a leg. Maybe inhale, straightening that front leg. Looking up only if you're balanced. Big inhale, can we swing it all up? One last bit. So bring the legs about halfway in. So about a half a leg distance apart. And you should know, because the hip should now be facing the front. Stretch the back of the front leg. As we inhale up nice and tall. On the exhale, tipping forward. Now, you should start to find the biting point. And when you found it, just hold it here. Every inhale, just breathing in a little longer in the spine. Maybe you exhale, releasing down a little more, but keeping the spine straight. If the front leg wants to have a little bend, just let that happen. Just breath by breath as you release. And then, next inhale. Back up. Stepping it in. Shaking, wiggling, whatever we need. And we'll do round 2 to the other side. So, back into chair. Those feet nice and planted. In your time. Big inhale, swinging the arms up. Exhale, sitting down. Now remember the hips, adjust if you need. Now what can be quite nice with the arms? Exhale, Egyptian arms. Can you lower down a bit more? Ow. If it's not comfy, you can always come back up a bit. It's a lot harder the second time. Let's exhale down. Fly up in the inhale. Now you can come onto the toes if you want. Exhale down. As we set yourselves up for warrior. Other foot forward. Back one's in. Hips to the side or just off. We inhale, finding the length. Exhale, bending the front leg. Inhale the arms up if you're balanced. And looking over the front fingers, with the shoulders dropping. Now, from our chair, our heart rate's probably a little higher. So long, slow, controlled breaths. As much as we're working strongly in this pose, just let the breath calm and still. So we inhale, filling the chest, maybe making the arms longer. We might go down a little. And that breath calming as well. Now, next inhale, let's swing it back. You can go up if you wish. As we exhale, tipping it all forward. Whether you're holding or the hands are touching the floor. You can inhale as you straighten the front leg, again optional. Maybe looking up at the top arm. Hand. Inhale, swinging up. Arms dropping. Back of this leg, and then it is something nice, I promise. Half stance again. So those hips pointing forward, shoulders dropped. Inhaling that lift as we exhale. Tipping forward, enough to find the biting point. Again, when you do, always inhale, finding length in the spine. Maybe exhale that little more down, or just feeling the body release. It's being guided by the breath. And in your time, inhaling up, stepping it forward or back, shaking off, and then we can just have a nice wide-legged forward fold. So with the feet, you can either zigzag or take a big step out. Those toes can either face out to the side or face forward. Now inhale, finding the lift in the chest, the hands on the hips. As we exhale, tipping forward to halfway. Now at halfway, the moment of stillness as you find that length on the inhale. Exhale, fold and release. The arms can fall. Whether the arms are on the floor in front, holding the ankles or the elbows, that's all up to you. Maybe with a slight bend in those knees. Just releasing down. The attention on the lower back. And then slowly in your time, can we just inhale it as we come back up. And when we're up, big step or zigzag your way in. Just give the feet a little shake off as well. Ready for our balance. Just planting those feet down nicely. That's it, grab a ball if you want. Then before we move, just choose what foot you're going to stand on to begin with. And just visualize all the weight is going down on that foot. And when you're ready, just inhale as we lift one heel up, finding that lift in the chest. As we bring the knee up in front, whether it hangs itself or you hold it, giving the ankle a rotate if it wants. And then can we exhale out to the side? If you're balanced here, tucking the heel in, whether it's up high or the toes are on the floor. And when you found the stillness here, inhale, arms up. Those palms together. Exhaling down to heart center. The shoulders dropping. Always finding that lift in the chest out of the standing foot. And as we exhale down, just making the roots through the feet. It's finding your calm and stillness. Just exhale down. So you plant that foot. As we shift the weight now down to this other foot. Again, just visualizing all the weight going down so the other foot just becomes nice and light. As we inhale, lifting the other heel up. That knee comes up in front. Rotating if you did before. And again, exhaling out to the side. You have the other hand as a balance. And when you've found it, tucking it in. Finding your stillness, and only when you have. Inhale, reaching the arms up. As we exhale it down, heart center. Shoulders dropping. Observing the balance on this side. It might be different, it's perfectly normal. Just again, rooting down through the standing foot. Always inhale, finding the lift. It's finding the stillness within, tuning into our breaths. And in your time, exhale. Slowly peeling that down. As we work our way down to the floor. So forward fold, downward dog, and then child. So in our forward fold, as we exhale, tucking the chin, rounding the shoulders, slight bend in the knees, using the tummy as brakes, folding down vertebrae by vertebrae. And when we fold it down, staying here for a few breaths of stillness. Just feeling the release in the lower back. Then, can we step it through to dog, planting the palms, stepping the feet back. And we can hold dog for a few breaths. Whether you're still or you're walking. And at any point, just lower down via all fours and into child. But if we're still up, just think about rolling down in the next breath or two. As we sink ourselves into our comfortable child position, sinking that chest and head through to the mat. Just tuning into our breaths and our bodies. It's finding that stillness within. And observing any change when you joined the class. Just easing with each exhale. And energy with each inhale. And in time, you can just lift up to our all fours. Just briefly, as we work in cat again. As we inhale, looking up. As we exhale, curling down. Breath by breath. And as we've worked evenly, as we come back to our flat back, ready to come and lie down, whether that's crossing the ankles as we roll over them, as we scoot to the front of the mat, nice loose bend in those knees. As we inhale, arms up, spine lengthened, chest lifted. And exhale, peeling your way down, working the core. So the last thing down, shoulders, then the head. And when you're down, it's hugging those knees into the chest. Whether still or having a rock. And as we come back to center, you can just plant these feet on the mat, bringing the arms out to shoulder height, or the elbows out and palms facing up if you've not got space. Now, just a nice loose bend on these knees. And as we inhale, let's just send one leg up into the air. And what we're going to do with this ankle in the air, just bring it across onto the bent thigh. And that knee can just guide out. Now you're not really forcing anything here, it should be a nice free movement. And we're just going to have a rock, side to side. And just allowing that momentum to slowly build. And what might happen, the top thigh might touch the floor. And then perhaps eventually the sole of the bent foot might touch the floor. And if it does touch the floor, just leave it here. Again, you can take a look over the opposite shoulder. And just breathe into this twist. And just gently allowing it to loosen here. Just ease into the hips and the lower back. And as we inhale, back to center. You just send this leg up into the air and just slowly exhaling it down. As this knee bends back up, as we do the other side. It's inhaling the other leg up. So you bring this ankle in the air across the bent knee. That knee out to the side. And just beginning the rocking again. Slowly at first. So you allow the momentum to build. And as it does, the sole of the foot comes onto the floor. You can just leave it there. Perhaps looking over the opposite shoulder. Relaxing into this twist. As we ease bit by bit. As we inhale, back to center. Sending this leg into the air. We exhale it all the way back down. This knee bends in. And again, we can just have a quick hug of the knees in if we like. Still rocking, it's all up to you. And then just bring the arms and legs up into the air. We're going to have a rotate if we want. Let's make sure to go both ways. And then just a nice loose shake off. As we inhale, the arms through the legs, taking a hold of the outer edges of the feet. The knees out and up. And you can be still or rocking here. And then, in your time, you can just exhale our way down to your comfortable relaxation position, in whatever variation that might be. Just tuning back into our breaths. We just let everything else drift away. As we guide this breath around the body, as we inhale, drawing in energy and white light. As exhale, releasing tension and stress. And we'll start at the crown of the head. Forehead. Eyes, nose. Mouth and cheeks. Chin, jaw and ear. Front and back of the neck. Collarbone and shoulders. Elbows. Wrists. Front and back of the palms. Fingers and fingertips. Front of the chest and upper back. Ribs, mid-back, tummy, and lower back. Hips, pelvic floor, thighs, knees, calves and shins, ankles, heels, balls of the feet, toes, the whole body. The whole body. Gently drawing your attention back to this moment, to hear the sounds, the air touch your skin. You can begin to wiggle your toes and fingers. If you like, inhale as you reach the arms up overhead for a gentle stretch out. As we exhale the arms back down by the sides, hugging the knees in towards the chest. And eventually, rolling over to any side, that brief moment of stillness. And you open the eyes here, lifting yourself up to your comfortable seated position. As we find the spine long and light, chin tucked in. For a few last conscious breaths. As we inhale, drawing in that energy. And exhale, releasing any tension. And in your time, we inhale, lifting the arms up. Those palms come together. Exhaling down through heart center. Bowing our heads. Namaste.